Introducing xCredit LP staking from industry-leading RWA loan collateralization platform Credifi. Earn 10% cashback in USDT after 90 days, with more rewards coming soon for xCredit holders. Visit v2.credifi.finance.
Welcome everyone, Jimmy here. How are you guys doing today? It's the 18th of October. We're all through this month. A lot of things happened. With a lot of things to talk about. One big disappointment for you guys. I'm not Crypto Burp. I'm Jimmy. I'm covering his live stream today. But rest assured, today we're gonna talk really about exciting stuff about the altcoin, the similarities with the price action we had last year and this year, as well as the Bitcoin dominance and some juicy altcoin setups. Let me know, guys, in the chat if you can hear me. Let me, guys, if you can hear my microphone. Meanwhile, I have good news. Happy to share this good news with you. There is a promo with BitGet. If you sign up, and you can check the description in this YouTube video, if you sign up, you will get $20. And this $20, if I'm not mistaken, you can even quickly withdraw if you want this. Check this out, and it even makes you eligible to join our premium Discord community. So check out the description below. So now I'm gonna share my screen, and I want to quickly talk about the Bitcoin price action. And I want you to focus actually on 2 points, and 2 points only. One, the price action we had in 2023. What you can see is strong impulsive movement up, and then a long consolidation of 224 days, 32 weeks. So this is the weekly chart. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger for my blind homies, those who are wearing glasses, just like me, not wearing it today. And then I want you to see the volume profile. Of course, most of the price action happened here, so this is basically the value area, and the same happened here. However, we see here that the Bitcoin was actually struggling with really reclaiming that point of control back in September. And only in not only in September, but in the last part of Q2, and then here it finally managed to break out from that point of control. We see here actually a pretty similar thing. This was like a lot of resistance from that point of control. We tried to have a weekly open here. It failed here, and bam, Bitcoin aggressively move to the upside. This is a beautiful price action. And also the compression we had here with the 12 and the 21 EMA, there was a lot of compression. It almost created that bear cross where the 12 EMA then would cross the 12 EMA. Did not happen. There was compression, and we see here the same compression, but now we saw a bear cross, then a bull cross. Let me hide the price action. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Where is it again? Yeah, here. Hide. There was a bear cross and then a bull cross, and now I want you also to focus without price. Without price, what do you see here on this chart? What do you see here? Without the price action, you see these EMAs declining, compressing, which is basically in this case, the overall context was range, so there was a lot of compression, a lot of indecision, and this is the decisive move up. You can also see the distance between these two EMAs are getting bigger and bigger. And if we go back to the 2023 price action in the same period, by the way, from March till October in 2023, we see here again like the compression, the compression. We see that the 12 and the 21 EMA, by the way, this orange one is the 50, I believe, for this not very relevant. We can see that declining and then the flattening of the EMAs, and then it was curling up. I believe we are in the same in that same phase, meaning I believe really that the best is yet to come. Also, from this perspective, what you see here, this is the monthly chart. What we have done is we have connected the lows with the lows, and that's basically how you do cycle analysis. And by the way, not an expert in psychoanalysis, but I just understand the basics from my CMT curriculum. The idea is to connect the lows with the lows, and that's your cycle. So we had here one cycle, the other cycle, the other cycle low, the other cycle low, all of them connected. And then we have here the Bitcoin halving. So this vertical big line is what is the halving event here, 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 and here. We can see a similarity here in the halving event, like especially the last three, or I should say like the previous two. Here we had the consolidation phase of many weeks, 180, 200 days ish before it really broke out to the upside, because it's very logical. All these big events like an ETF event or a halving event, see this as a non-binary event, meaning the first day will no effect, maybe even better. On the first few 3 days, you're going to see a decline because people are playing buy the rumor, sell the news event, which is very, very normal to play. However, because this is a non-binary event, it takes time for before these events actually are going to have an impact on the market. So the halving event, it takes us around 180 days, 200 days before it makes a move here, before it made a move here, and then now it's still ranging here. So I believe we're actually in this end phase of this post halving consolidation phase. A funny similarity is when you connect the lows with the lows, it takes us 1,430 days before we go from one low to the other low. And it takes us more or less 500 days to go from the halving event to the all-time high. So with that said, I believe we might see an end of this bull market, of this cycle, somewhere in Q2 or Q3 next year. Another funny, or I should say interesting observation is this. If you have the lows and you connect the lows with the all-time high, it takes us more or less, I should do this in everything in white. It takes us more or less 1,000 days, 1,000 days or 1,100 days to travel, the duration from the cycle low to the all-time high. We have seen it here. We have seen it. We're just gonna copy. We have seen it here. And if we would apply this same concept, this was the all-time, or sorry, the cycle low. In hindsight, we know this. This was the cycle low. This will bring us to a potential all-time high. Oh wait, something went wrong. So the similarity is Bitcoin often needs time to travel from the one low to the new low and from the one low to the new high. Now we're seeing this beautiful similarity, and it's not only on the EMAs, and on the volume profile. It's also on the RSI. What I like on RSI, you can use it for many reasons, for mean reversion trading, for finding trends, reversals. The RSI was here hovering below the 50 level, and then it framed eventually the 50 level, and we got this beautiful RSI breakout here. And the similar thing happened here as well. I truly believe this is a very legit RSI breakout, telling you that the end of this consolidation phase is about to end. Let me now get the price back. Normally, if you would work with these trend lines, you're gonna, with price, you would do something like this. I rather prefer to rely on the RSI rather than on price. But this is also a legit a trend line break. And then we have the MACD as well. Oh. This is the first cross. I shared this last week as well, beginning of this week. This cross is, by the way, not confirmed yet because the week has not ended yet. However, if it would end, it would be the first cross since October. And again, do you guys see the similarities also with the MACD? Do you guys see the similarity? This was like the bearish momentum. It crossed, reversal we got. This was long consolidation, indecisive move, no downside, no really upside. It might have made some lower highs and lower lows, but so subtle that the overall context is this is just a range, and do not overcomplicate this too much. This is a beautiful, beautiful cross. We need like another week to really confirm this. But I believe like the end might be very near for Bitcoin. So what does it actually mean for all these other altcoins? This is Ethereum. This is also a thesis I shared with the Discord community. This is a multi-year SNR level. Let's go quickly to the weekly. This is a like a macro ascending triangle. Even if you don't apply, these classical patterns, it does tell you a few things, and this is actually telling you this is just a long consolidation phase, a very boring one as well. Let's go quickly to the daily. If it can successfully reclaim this SNR level, I believe the next stop would be here around this this purple line, and then it's up to the bulls or the bears how strong they are. A beautiful reclaim would be very nice for altcoins in general. Also, the Replicator Pro flashed here a bull signal. This is still intact. So here at this point, I'd rather want to look for longs than for shorts because it's just sitting here on support, and I would consider this now as a throwback, as a successful retest until proven otherwise. But there's one chart, and I believe this is probably one of the most ugliest chart ever. Who can guess the name of this chart? Who can guess the name of this chart? By the way, there's a beautiful question from Chess Bro. Where can I learn all this? There are many places where you can learn. However, I wouldn't really rely on free resources on the internet because there's a lot of garbage. It took me, and this is a personal story, it took me months and maybe even years to unlearn bad trading concepts and methodologies. I would go for the route of professionalism and following traders with a proven track record and with an esteemed reputation. where you can learn this is, you can learn as many, you can read as many books as you want. Eventually trading is all about executing and cultivating the right behavior, but I would definitely check resources like Investopedia, but also the CMT curriculum. I believe if you're going to follow the CMT curriculum, or you're just going to read the first book, the CMT level 1 book, is going to expand your horizon massively. Also on Discord, we do a lot of educational content. We share threads, posts about trading psychology, trading concepts. We do, I think, almost every day a live trading session, or at least we do multiple live streams and videos on a weekly basis. I think it's at least once in the day. And I would say, learn from the from those who you can rely on, because if you're going to learn bad concepts, it's going to be extremely difficult to unlearn them. There's a lot of science behind it. Brain cells that fire together wire together, and if you want to dewire them, it's going to take you a lot of energy. So let me quickly circle back to my question. What's the most ugly chart in this space? And the most disgusted one? It's this one, Ethereum. Ethereum against Bitcoin. What do we see here? We see a very strong, a very obvious decline. It's underperforming heavily against Bitcoin. This was my first point of interest. I drew this line when it was here. This is a multi-year SNR level. How long is this level in total? This is wait, not gonna do this black. 3,514 days. This is a really, this is an extremely important level for bulls on this chart to protect. As I believe, if they're gonna lose this level, um, this is not really a bullish area for Ethereum. To be honest, this is not bullish. It could all decline all the way here. This is my second point of interest um, for my own portfolio, and for the ease of trading altcoins, especially those in the Ethereum ecosystem. I really want that this level will not be breached by the bears. Now, there's another chart I want you to see. Let me go quickly to this. This is the default Bitcoin dominance chart. You can see here a few things. I maybe must say and must confess, I know this is actually a meme chart. You cannot really actually trade Bitcoin dominance. However, it does give you a lot of information. This might be a retest of this level and a reclaim, I should say. A very high dominance is not always, that wonderful for altcoins. Ideally, we're gonna see a drop. But I do actually not really like this Bitcoin dominance chart because it also includes stables. So there's also this chart here. And this one is without a stable. So this is really Bitcoin dominance compared to the altcoins. This is based on a formula. I'm gonna where is it? It's this. If you enter this here on your trading view, like this, if you go to symbol search and you enter this and you do enter, this will pop up without the trend lines, of course, because it's a fresh chart. I'm gonna drop it here in the chat as well for those who are interested in having. I would consider this as the real Bitcoin dominance. And there's no other observation I can make, and I'm not going to overanalyze this, then that this is a hell of a chart. This is really bullish, as in good for Bitcoin. Okay, this chart is really good for Bitcoin, as in it's having more strength than altcoins. But I know most of you guys are really trading and very interested in altcoins, and this false notion that Bitcoin doesn't make you rich, so you should only focus on altcoins, is a really false notion, especially if you. It depends on your risk profile, but if you're married and you have kids, um, I wouldn't really rely only on altcoins. And I truly believe that this cycle is very, very different from many, many other cycles. We know this. Where is this? Yeah, it's this one. We know this concept of Bitcoin goes up, capital flows in Bitcoin, Bitcoin goes up, and then Ethereum goes up, and then the major alts go up, and then all these other alts go up, and everything goes up. I believe this methodology, this concept, is not valid anymore. The landscape of Bitcoin and crypto changed a lot. And let me gonna give you an example, and I'm gonna explain you why. I do not believe in a full-blown bull market anymore. I do not believe that everything in the top 100 and the top 200 will explode. Not in the same fashion as in 2021 or in 2017. No way this will happen. And why do I believe this? It's because we know now that 2 million, 2.5 million Bitcoins, I actually more than that, 2.5 million Bitcoins. Oh shit. I'm too excited, guys, so that's why it quickly disappeared. 2.5 million Bitcoins now in the hands of what? In the hands of private companies, in the hands of ETFs and countries. Like the US has a lot of bitcoins. They don't know what they're going to do with it. It depends. They could sell it. They could hold all this or put it in a reserve. We don't know. China has a lot of bitcoins, and there are other countries who are also holding a lot of bitcoins. However, a lot of institutions are holding Bitcoin as well. Worldwide, 1.1 million Bitcoins have been scooped up. So it's not actually BlackRock buying these Bitcoins. The clients of BlackRock are buying Bitcoins and Fidelity and so forth and so on. 1.1 million Bitcoins have been purchased. And these people who bought these ETFs have a very different risk profile than you and me. No way they gonna rotate their Bitcoin into a shitcoin. Absolutely not, because there's a reason why they purchased these ETFs and not from the open market directly. This money will never flow into altcoins, never, unless the only probability I see is it might flow into other crypto related ETFs. And the only ETF we have now besides Bitcoin is Ethereum. It might flow into Ethereum. That would be very bullish for Ethereum, but no way this is going to flow into, where is it? Flow into Doge or Tron or Polkadot or Bitsensor or Pepe, Monero, Falcon. Absolutely not. I do not believe this. Hence the reason I believe that if you think that this will happen, this rotation of money, Bitcoin, Ethereum, high caps, major caps, gems, no way. I do believe money will flow into some of them, and we, like those who have both Bitcoin quite cheap. So I'm talking about retail traders. They might have a higher a purchase power, meaning their assets appreciated a lot, so they could buy some Bitcoins. But a lot of Bitcoins now, they will not flow. They will not flow into altcoins, not in the same fashion as it happened in 2017. I do believe in narratives. So one of the cool narrative we see, and this is based on data, is this is the price of Bitcoin. What do we see? Consolidation, and it's actually a little bit now going up, but this is a very strong trend. The Bitcoin, like on exchanges, on all exchanges, is dropping. So it marked here like a few days ago a new all-time low. So this is very interesting, and I hope it will continue this way. Bitcoin is scarce. This again, guys, I do not want to break your dreams, really. If you, I am positioned in Bitcoin as well. I think 50% of my portfolio sits in Bitcoin. I'm happy with that because Bitcoin is just 9% away from its all-time high. But a lot of other altcoins, they need to print massively to go back to their all-time high. And let's not only talk about all-time high. Let's just only focus on the 52-week high. A lot of altcoins in the top 100, they need to print massively. I'm talking about 50, 60, 90, 120% to go back to the 52-week high. Okay, it does mean that there is some potential for a lot of altcoins. One of the biggest narratives I truly believe in is the real world asset narrative and AI. We cannot neglect AI. AI is going to be extremely important. We all use AI. I keep saying if you do not use AI, you're going to be replaced by people who know how to use AI. Just like with the computers, right? With the computer revolution, those who were not capable to work with computers, they were actually replaced not by the computers themselves, but by those who knew how to use these computers. Um, let me, yeah, let me do this. So what do we see here? We see here one of these real world asset coins I'm holding, which is Rio. And this is a strong resistance. We traded this with, did it with one of my private mentoring students. Um, this is a strong resistance zone. We cannot deny this. It's very obvious. It bounced here, bounced here, bounced here, got rejected here. Typical bearish retest. Another retest, only to pave the way all the way down here to 50 cent. And now it's sitting here, like basically, almost mid-range. So I want to see Rio reclaiming this green level, but I believe that we are seeing some signs of reversal. We see here a trend line on the 12-hour chart. We cannot fully rely on this yet because, oh well, why? Because why? Because there's no breakout yet. Logarithmic. Oh wait. By the way, guys, if I use the chart and my chart is on logarithmic, this is a quick tip. If your chart is on logarithmic, you want to use your oscillators actually also on the logarithmic, also for your Fibonacci's and your how do you call it, your RSI. So we do see a bullish divergence, but it's not strong enough. So if what I would love to see is in the next 3, 4, 12-hour sessions. Oh, yeah, it's weekend tomorrow. Maybe Tuesday, Monday. I want to see the RSI curling up and then breaking through this line. Ideally, next week above the 50 level. And that would indicate for me enough strength to open a trade position. I already have Rio in my portfolio. I think I have enough. Well, when things appreciate, you never have enough, right? But for trading purposes, I see this as a very good setup. What I also like is ENA. I've been trading this as well with one of my students. And the reason why is very simple. You could see this as a very complex head and shoulder pattern. You could see this as consolidation, and then here What do you see here? How do you call it when it breaks through a resistance level and it comes back? This is a typical throwback. This is a bullish retest. So we both and around here 38 cents ish, something like that. If it can continue, this would be my TP1, and then happy to milk out this trade by turning my stop loss. This would be my second TP, and then we will see what happens. But I like this pattern where you see this kind of like this kind of head and shoulder pattern, or this W pattern on a high time frame chart, 12-hour or 1 day. And if it breaks out from that trend line, it could go lower. It could, make that perfect bullish retest, this perfect throwback. That would be a beautiful entry. Mm. Are there any chart requests, ladies and gentlemen? Before we're gonna wrap this up. So this, guys, again, don't want to break really your dreams, but I believe like a lot of capital will flow into some certain narratives. Real world asset, AI, deep in, I believe they're gonna perform quite well. And again, 2.5 million bitcoins scooped up by institutions, countries, states, or I should confiscated by countries. I think most of these countries haven't really bought Bitcoin. Let's see what countries. US, I think most of these Bitcoins have been confiscated, right? China as well, UK as well. I'm not sure about Ukraine, to be honest. Maybe these were all these donations. I don't know. Bhutan, well, I know they are actively buying. El Salvador actively buying. Not sure about Finland, to be honest. But this might be like a concern for I don't know, the next few years, or maybe the next few months. I don't know. Um, but I know for a fact these 1.1 million, which is 5% of the total supply, and actually 3 million bitcoins are actually that, as in those are ghost bitcoins because people lost a seed phrase or they cannot access their Bitcoin. So actually, the real supply is 19 million. ETFs, 5.3% of the entire supply. Public companies, 1.7. Private companies, 1.7. Some mining companies, some of them they might gonna sell it. You don't know. And then we have some bitcoins in the DeFi space. Though not assume that especially these bitcoins here from ETFs, countries, public companies, and private and public companies will rotate into altcoins. Not in the same fashion as we have seen in the previous cycles. This is actually also very interesting. This is how many times people were searching for Bitcoin past 5 years. It's actually on the really low side. By the way, this is YouTube search. Let's go for the website search. It's very low, but I believe those who were interested in Bitcoin, they already kind of tapped into that crypto environment ecosystem. So they were not really that interested. They are interested. They were interested, but there are a lot of people, they know already what kind of resources to consult to find information of Bitcoin. Hence the reason why I believe it's low. Also, a lot of people who got capitulated in these previous cycles, um, they they're out there, but not really active. But if they're going to be active, probably many of them already have a Twitter account, or they know where to go to find information. They already know probably what CoinMarketCap is, and what Binance is, and so forth and so on. What I find even more interesting is the YouTube search. We saw here like a big spike, really far away from that. This was March, which basically, as you can see, like retail's always late, right? A lot of people were looking for Bitcoin, searching for Bitcoin. This basically marked the top for a lot of altcoins. And this basically marked the starting point of that long consolidation phase. And now it's declining. This is just YouTube search. So I believe this will increase. Um, and what's even more relevant, and we do not see this here, is not about the searches, but um, how many views we are seeing now on Bitcoin related content. That would give us even a better picture of the current situation. Oh, I forgot to mention this, by the way. What do you see here? These are breadth charts. What's the breadth chart telling you? It shows you the relationship between the declining and the advancing charts, coins, assets. So digital assets, crypto in this case. We all know that like a proxy for a bull market is when things are trading above their 200 MA. Now, this is just to show you how early we actually are. At the moment, as we speak, now, today, it's the 18th of October, and only 13%, 13% is trading above the 200-day MA, above the 200 moving average. Only 13% of them, which is not a lot. So it means that a lot of coins, they still have to reclaim their 200 MA. So if you think you're late because you missed out, hell no. We are about to start. Then we have the 50 MA if it continues. This is the 50 MA. So as we can see, we saw here like a big decline in June, quick peak and then a spike and then decline. This was quite steady, but now what do we see here? It's rising a little bit since the beginning of the month, and as we speak, 60%, 60, is trading above their 50 MA, which is actually a good sign. And I suspect that this is reflecting the 20 daily moving average. As we can see here now, 60% is trading above the 20 MA, which is actually not bad. We want to see a continuation of this. We want to see something like what happened here, but then for the next few weeks. By the way, you know where to find this. This is our website, the Burp Nest Screener Breath Chart. I'm gonna paste this as well here in the chats. It refreshes every day automatically, so you don't need to do anything. It quickly gives you a good understanding how strong the altcoin market is. And on top of that, there are some other screeners you can check as well. For example, this is a crypto screener. This is telling you, okay, Rune is on the low time frame, it's getting a little bit bearish, but the daily and the weekly is very bullish. So you might want to check Rune on on TradingView to see if you're seeing any good entries. Here, dogs is getting bullish now on the 4-hour, but quite bearish. So we might see here a reversal as it's starting to get more bullish here on the low time frame, the 4-hour time frame, and the 1 day and the weekly is more bearish. This could dramatically help you with screening crypto. Do we have any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Let me quickly check what Bitcoin is doing now. Bitcoin is vibing. Bitcoin is doing good. And again, guys, this is like those who just joined, the lot of similarities with 2023. A lot of similarities on the MA, on the RSI, on the MACD, on the moving averages, on the volume profile. We see basically a very similar behavior. So some of you might ask, okay, Jimmy, everything is nice and cool, but what's actually the next target for Bitcoin? Well, there are actually a few things you could do. You see this big range. You just go from the obvious low or the bottom. You could take this long candle, but I really not really that keen to use this candle. This was really overreaction to the Japan situation. So we just gonna do this and then add this here. And then we have this zone, okay? This is one way. Another way is you use Fibonacci extension. You go from the high to the low. And again, my chart is on logarithmic. So you want your Fib also be based on log scale. This is the 1618 extension. I could easily see really Bitcoin moving towards this level in the next months. If it's going to break out, we might see some pushback. There are a lot of heroes trying to short these moves. I understand that if someone wants to short, he would look to short Bitcoin here around these levels. But this, if it breaks out and they're using a stop loss, they're actually forced to buy Bitcoin. And then we could see easily a cascade of all these stop losses and quickly a very aggressive move to the upside. If this happens, I don't really think we're gonna see a that classical throwback, right? Normally, when things are going up, make like a throwback, creating that price acceptance, and then goes up. I don't really believe we're gonna see such a behavior if it's going to break out. Just like we hear what happened with ENA. Here we did see we're seeing here like this beautiful retest, right? Up and then retesting and up it goes. But I don't think we're gonna see something similar with Bitcoin. Just like what happened here, actually. Where do you see here the retest? I don't see none. I don't see any retest here. It might have retested this level. Yes, I would agree. If you like after that breakout, but this was again like a long consolidation. Very boring as well. This was really time capitulation. Let's go to the 12-hour chart. Here, look how aggressively things can, all in a sudden, things can become very aggressively, right? With no real retest. Also here, this is also range. That would be like a crazy deviation, but as you can see, after that ranging, after that, you don't see that classical throwback, right? You see actually a strong move to the upside with probably a lot of volume kicking in. I understand some traders, they might say, well, the safest bet to buy Bitcoin is when it's out of the range. But I believe if it's going to escape this range, things are gonna escalate very quickly. I don't really believe that a lot of traders are gonna have enough time to position themselves accordingly. Hope that makes a little bit of sense. If not, let me know, and I can give you like maybe another example. So yeah, where will these shorters appear? If we really take out this July high, I easily see them trying to find short opportunities here, and then having their stop loss above that range high, like here. But what happens if they are leveraged and they are trying to short this and it breaks out? Their stop loss is basically a buy order, right? So we might see even higher prices if that happens. This is not a bullish momentum I want to fade. No way. I also shared this in my Bitcoin report on the locally. No, wait, let me go to the other chart where it's This is very clear, right? What do you see here? Huh? What do you see here? What do you see here? You see that this and this is confirmation of what happened here. That's what you see. This is just making higher highs and higher lows. Basically confirming this entire price action we saw here. So this is not really a level where you might want to short it. Maybe like for a small trades. I'm not shorting at all. This here might be like a level where people might think, okay, this is a typical level to short because it's resistance, and I might not be the only one. I rather prefer to long or buy the higher low rather than trying to short this. With that said, I think we can conclude this session, ladies and gentlemen. Again, maybe one little thing. There's so much to talk about. This is again like the W pattern, right? You see this everywhere. You see this at the bottom sometimes when it's ranging, especially if you see like also like bullish divergence. It's just telling you that this W pattern is going to be like a reversal pattern. Okay, that's one thing I want to say. Also, notice how this is October. This is like the first day of October. So the first day of October, what does it mark? It marks the opening price of October, right? It's the first part of the candle. It declined and dropped into this key SNR level. We long Bitcoin, by the way, into when it was tapping into this level. In hindsight, maybe I closed my position too early. But we saw here a decline here as well, and then a massive candle through that October open. So this entire price action you see here is actually the wick. This is actually the wick. What does it tell you if this is the wick? It means there's a lot of momentum behind that move, a lot of strength. This is how the monthly looks like. Again, it's way too early to now talk about October monthly chart because this is day number 18. Drawings. But if it would close like this is extremely bullish because its closing price would be then higher. Like it would be like the highest closing price since May. Right? Look where the closing price was here. The closing price here. The closing price here. The closing. The closing price here. The closing price here. This is extremely bullish. It's still a range until it isn't a range. Like another from another angle. Wait, where is it? Yeah, this is the Coinbase chart. Let's go to the. You might if you see this as a flag, maybe if you go talk to textbook flag, I might not see this really as a flag, but it does actually convey the same message actually. Long, how do you call it? A flagpole and then a ranging environment, right? Actually, consolidation. When you see this, like a consolidation or a rectangle, however you want to call it, more often than not, it's actually a continuation pattern because you do not want to fade this trend, right? Yeah, no, I'm pretty optimistic, ladies and gentlemen, for the next few weeks and months. And again, I think most of the strength is in Bitcoin. Altcoins might try to catch up, but if I think that this Bitcoin rally is going to be a hated rally because if it's going to rally, again, this is the Bitcoin dominance without the stables. If it's going to rally, not a lot of altcoin holders going to benefit from this move. Eventually, maybe, but most of the strength will be in Bitcoin, and then it might rotate into some of the altcoins. Again, that system, that concept of Bitcoin, altcoin, high caps, majors, high caps, low caps. This model is pretty much outdated, and I explained to you why. 2.2 million Bitcoins are now in the hands of institutions, ETFs, um, some countries, public companies, private companies. No way they're going to use their Bitcoin to buy your shitcoin. It's not going to work like that. If there are any questions, guys, let me know. Those who are interested in our Discord community, good news, you can join us whenever you want. Let me quickly show you guys what we're actually sharing here on the weekly basis. You might be very interested in that. Laura, let me check. Whatever we do, we are fully transparent. So Adrian is trading a lot on the 12-hour mainly, and he is sharing his positions and where he is about to add and what he's trading. The other guys are doing basically the same. We're sharing here a lot of scalps. As you can see here, this is one of the recent scalps we played. We both we traded. Where is it? This was, I think, here last week. We thought, okay, this is a scalp. This is our buy entry. This is where we're going to sell, and we made a bunch of money. My friend Juspit recently shared with. We have here some swing trades. I'm going to show you the newest ones, but this is basically what we're trading. DYDX, Sundoc, all very profitable, good trades. What is this? Eigen, Woo. Brad, say. So we're actively monitoring the charts. And as a team, we're talking about the high potential setups. We're filtering out the bad ones and sharing the good ones with the community. And honestly, when I'm making a good trade, I'm happy. But what makes me even more happy is when other people making money through my calls. It gives me way more fulfillment and pleasure than me, earning some money on some trades. There is a link in the description. You go and check out our Discord community. By the way, there is like a paid version, and honestly, you only gonna get high premium quality from the entire team. But there's also like a free version where you can chat with the sum of us and check our daily Bitcoin reports. Every day we publish a new report. It's a multi-time frame analysis. It's often we cover the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour. Some people only cover the weekly and the 4 hour. So it depends, but it does contain multiple time frames, all free of charge for the community on Discord. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Love it. Thank you, Seng, for your nice, cool picture, by the way, for the kind words.